Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the event finals of the inaugural Bonspiel here at the National Capital Curling Center, hosted by the Potomac Curling Club. We will be bringing you the procession of the participants along with piping in just a few minutes. The ice crew is just finishing up the ice, and we will get started when they are ready.
You are looking live at Sheet B here at the 2012 Potomac Curling Club's inaugural Bonspiel. David Bykowski here with you for the play-by-play and color commentary and all other things here on the microphone for this championship match. Two great teams. We have the Scott Eady rink calling themselves Winnipedia. These guys have played together for quite some time. And from Ohio, the Mayfield rink being skipped by Chris Goldsmith and viced by Paul Buzzard. Kent Young throwing second for them, and Jason Oblander is at lead. That's the lineup for Mayfield. Winnipedia skipped by Scott Eady. Danny Stesky, famously known as the Nerd at third at Vice. Bill Nickel throwing second, and Bill Peskoff, always entertaining. He's dropped in on a couple of our broadcasts earlier this weekend, throwing lead. It is Eady throwing the yellow rocks. Mayfield skipped by Goldsmith with the red rocks. And we have a couple of guards already out there in play. Glad you could join us wherever you may be. Bill Peskoff set to go and throw his second rock here. Scott Eady calling for the draw behind that top guard. Again, this is the championship match. Both of these teams undefeated so far. There are three other games, the second, third, and fourth event finals. We'll give you some information and updates on those a little bit later on. It's come up a little bit heavy, but settles in nicely as far as line behind that guard. That is well protected. Just a little heavy sitting there in the back of the 12-foot. Jason setting up for his second rock. Again, Mayfield starting this end with the hammer. Can't take out the guard yet, of course. Keeping this one pretty close to the center line. This one's going to have to move a little bit if he's going to be playing any sort of tap back or look to just open things up a bit and clear a couple of guards out some. He's left himself a tighter center guard and taken that guard that he had up there into the back corner, and they're going to kick that one out of play. So he's kind of protected the shot rock just a little bit more there as Bill Nickel gets set in the hack for his first rock of this game. Bill curling out of the Plainfield Curling Club in South Plainfield, New Jersey. Been a very solid team. We saw them last night in their semifinal match on Sheet A, taking on the Andrew rink representing RPI, and Scott Eady and his team really just dominating from the beginning in that match. And that one, they shook early after, I believe it was 5 ends. So Nichols left the rock sitting there as another guard over on the left side, really trying to take control of that 4-foot. No surprise, good strategic calling there from Scott Eady. The man has been doing this quite a while, and it shows. Kent Young's rock is away here. Just wants to go and open up the center here. He's come up awfully light. In fact, just barely getting a piece of that left yellow guard. So again, Eady now looking for the draw behind the guard that Bill Nickel has just put up there. Probably wouldn't mind a tap back either. Still trying to feel out the ice conditions. Sweeper staying close on this one, not touching it yet. He's got this one around the guard. He may come up a little heavy here again. Should settle in the back of the house, I think. Right about the same depth. Second rock from Kent Young down the sheet. Sweepers on this one pretty early on with all those guards in play now, especially with 2 rocks sitting there in the back of the house just begging to be frozen upon. Really wants to clear some things out, and he's actually managed to clear the yellow guard and get a double to take out one of the rocks in the back of the house. Not a bad result. He's got some tap-up possibilities to work with now. As Danny Stesky gets set in the hack here. And his first rock is away again, just looking to draw around behind that yellow guard that they've put up over on the left side. It's come out a bit wide here. It's coming back in pretty nicely. That's actually not bad at all. So Paul Buzzard will throw his first rock here, throwing out of the vice position. A left-hander. I've had a few of those over the course of this weekend. Sometimes that's come into play a little bit more than others. Paul's got plenty of room to be able to draw behind the guard and freeze onto the 2 rocks that Edie has sitting in the back of the house. He's going to want this one to curl over just a little bit. Scott's going to sweep it past the tee, and that's going to sit as shot rock, but it's still quite in the open. And here's where experience comes into play. Edie not calling for the hit like many inexperienced skips might do. He's just saying, just draw down here again. We'll just keep doing this back and forth. So Stesky's second rock is away. A little bit of sweeping early on, not too heavy. Line's looking pretty good on this one. He's going to... Now they're starting to get a good handle on the weight. That should settle in right around the tee line, just a little past it. Still a really nice shot there, settling in the back 4. And we can expect that Buzzard is going to follow that one down on this shot. Sweepers get on this about a third to almost halfway down the sheet. Just want to make sure that they can get this one around the guard. It's going to be close. I think he's going to be wicking off of there, though. And he is. He's opened that one up. Scott will eagerly try to block up that port. Probably put another one in, actually, sitting about maybe top of the 8-foot, top 4-foot is about where they seem to be discussing this one. Scott Edie regularly curling right out of here at the Potomac Curling Club. It's been taking a little bit of time back in the last couple of years. Haven't been seeing him around here quite so much. Scott's first rock is away. Remember, Mayfield with the hammer on this end to start off our game. Sweepers on this one right from the get-go. Might want to let up just a little bit to make sure they've got the line. They're looking pretty good there, though. I think he's come up a little short of the house, and it may have overcurled just a touch, but that should be still pretty good. Good protection of that shot rock, and he's certainly cut that port really very much out of play now. So a well-protected shot rock sitting there, touching the forefoot. Get a closer look here from our overhead cam. You can see right above it those two yellows that are protecting it pretty well, and there's another guard up there too. So not really an opportunity to get at that. Couple of tap back opportunities here over about the right on the center line perhaps, though those guards are angled actually. That may not be the way the yellow's sitting there behind the red. Not really an opportunity. So maybe just that one red rock that's sitting just to the right of the center line. Should be able to look to tap that one back. Chris Goldsmith, his first rock is away here in this first end. Sweepers on this one on and off. They're just going to go and try to, instead of tap it back, try to draw behind the guard. He may have been he's definitely heavy, and that one's going to go through the back of the house. Very nice line there, but just too much weight to be able to get that one in. Yeah, there's definitely nothing like having the true ceremony and tradition of the piper out on the ice before the final games. And we'll see if we can get some microphones out there on the ice, perhaps somewhere a bit later on down the line as the budget allows. But there's definitely nothing like it. Scott Eady with his final rock here in this first end, just looking to, I believe he's looking to block things up and keep the tap back or the draw out of play. If that curls just a little more, that is a very nicely positioned rock there. It's a very difficult tap back opportunity, a tiny little port. Have to come from the inside out to be able to get to that one to get a tap back. And I'm not really, at this point, that may be, that's a very odds-off shot. He's going to throw the draw here, coming way to the outside. Very fresh ice, but we've seen a lot of times on this sheet, it will curl 3.5, even 4 feet, coming from right to left, as you're seeing it there on the screen. Chris Goldsmith throwing the hammer here. Sweepers on this one right away. But I think they're looking and realizing this one may be a bit heavy. It's got to come back in some more as well to be able to get to the forefoot. I don't think that's going to come back enough. Not quite. It was a nice attempt, but it turns out to be a steal of one for Scott Eady. And an early 1-0 lead after one in this championship match of the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel here at the Potomac Curling Club. Bill Peskoff with his first rock away here in this second end. 1-0 your score in favor of the Scott Eady rink from various places in the GNCC, taking on Chris Goldsmith's Mayfield rink out of Ohio. Peskoff's first rock coming into the house, settling about the top of the 8-foot circle. Goldsmith will be happy to get rid of that one. And sometimes a rock like this can end up setting the tone for just an end that is a series of trading hits, especially in the early going. We might expect to see that maybe a little more in the first end, just to be sure to kind of warm up the ice a little bit. They're sweeping this one all the way as this one is coming off the center line. He's just going to get a piece of it, but not enough to take it out of the rings. And Eady, of course, calling for the guard of that shot rock. Second rock from Bill Peskoff is away here. Weight looks a bit better. Got a sweepers staying off this one. They can see this one may be over curling just a bit. He's covering about maybe somewhere between half and a third of the rock there, as that one might, not entirely sure if that's actually biting the top of the house. So Chris calling for the hit on the shot rock again, giving a little more ice this time. Especially since this is the side where we've seen more curl than the other. Shots away, sweepers are off this one, as it looks like it's hanging out there. May have thrown a bit more weight than he wanted to at it. This one's got to move if he's going to get any, and he's flashed it again. So a little bit of early frustration for the Mayfield rink in this second end. Scott Eady just wants to keep that one shot sitting there in the top of the 8-foot circle, well protected. Just very nice guard weight there by Bill Nickel. He's going to leave this one very high up. So would have liked to have had that maybe a little bit lower down in there, but still very nicely positioned rock in terms of the line. And Goldsmith will call for the second Kent Young to peel really just any of these rocks out of the house, out of the way. Chance he might be getting the double here. Line's looking pretty good. Gets one, and can he sweep the other one out the back corner? Yes, he does. A nice double take out there by Kent Young. And a little bit of a sigh of relief from Chris Goldsmith after that shot. So Eady will call for Bill Nickel to just draw this one behind the guard. Looks like he's got plenty of room to be getting around that high 1.5 to 2 guard. Sweepers trying to bring this one deep into the house to settle it to about the top of the 8-foot circle. I think they've done it. Very nice. Very nicely done. Got a little bit of a corner peeking out there on the side. Not really enough for the Mayfield rink to be able to do much with it, though. So it looks like a hit being called here by Goldsmith on Kent Young's second rock. Floating out there a little bit to the outside. Should come back this one a little bit more down weight. Now the sweepers are on this one. They've definitely got the shot rock there. Very nice control weight hit. Be able to get that one out. And now Mayfield sitting one wide open. Should be a pretty easy hit here for Danny Steskey. That's definitely an example of when you really want to make sure that you've got good finesse weight takeout shots. Maybe a control, a bumper, or board weight, as opposed to focusing on throwing tons of weight all the time. If you throw too much weight at that, you really don't have much of a shot there at taking that one out. You've got to just let the rock curl, let the ice bring that one over to the shot rock. Very good finesse weight on that one by Kent Young. Two good shots that he's thrown in this end. No problem on the hit. A little more roll than I think Danny would have liked to have seen on that one. He rolls that all the way out to the 8-foot, right on the tee line on the right side of the house as you see it at home. So we're back to trading hits back and forth here, waiting for one of these teams to be able to get a roll behind the two guards that you can see. Red guard just to the left of the center line, yellow guard sitting over on that wheelchair line on the left side. Sweepers on this one right away. Trying to hold it. I don't know that that's going to. He may get a piece of it. Oh, it's that. Wow. We were fooled by the angle on that one. Offset just a little bit. And not as much roll as he would have liked, but he gets the hit without a problem. And Danny Steskey will look to return the favor. Sweepers on this one about halfway down the sheet. Now they come off. Trying to see if they can get a roll. Nope, just going to be the nose hit on that one. Still, very definitely not a bad result. And Paul Buzzard will get set to do the same thing as he did last time and hit and try to roll behind the guards. Sweepers are staying off of this one all the way. This one looks like it's hanging outside, and the shooter is going to roll out on this one. So a wide open house as we come to Skip's Rocks. Well, wide open except for those two guards sitting up there, but an empty house. That might be more accurate. So Scott Eady with his first rock looking to draw behind the guards. 1-0 your score. Eady with an early lead. Chris Goldsmith and his Mayfield ring have the hammer here in the second end, just like they did in the first. Plenty of room, but also plenty of weight on this one. See if there's any chance it'll hang around in the back of the 12-foot. It's going to catch just a bit of a back biter, we think. Hard to tell here on the overhead camera view that we're seeing here at the club. If anything, it's almost more like the shadow of the rock. I think he's got a piece of it, though. Teams both seem to Eady shaking his head as he comes down at the ice looking at it. Taking a quick look over at Sheet C. Early action there in the second end. Murray Jackson's Triangle rink with an early 2-0 lead on the strength of a steal in the first end on Dubberstein's Philadelphia rink. That is the second event final taking place over there on Sheet C. Back over here on our championship match. Chris Goldsmith throwing his first rock. Again, looks like he's got plenty of weight on this one. If he's trying to run this one back into the yellow, the line may come out okay. Not enough weight to go all the way back, but he's got the tap to at least count to sit one, right there in the top of the 12-foot. And Scott Eady's going to try the same draw again with just a little bit less weight. Well, definitely the right idea for Goldsmith there, either to draw behind or if it sets upright, just to play the tap back. Again, not quite as much curl as we've seen on that side, as opposed to the way that Eady is going to be coming on this shot. Last rock for Scott Eady here in the second end. Just getting a little bit of cleaning there as it's coming down the sheet. I think he's thrown this one heavy again. He may be slightly better than the last one, but I think it's still going to be sitting in the back of the house. Curls in nicely, but he's got that one sitting in the back of the 8-foot. So Eady back to sitting shot rock for now. And Goldsmith will definitely look to draw down to that. Could tap it back as well. Just basically a draw with backing. It all depends on when you're throwing this shot, how you want to think about it, whether you want to think of it as being a draw where you've got backing or a heavy draw. So a little bit of discussion there between Paul Buzzard and the skip Chris Goldsmith on the broom placement for this final shot of the second end. And the hammer is away. Plenty of room. Looks like he's thrown it too heavy, and that one's not going to come back enough, not at that weight. So Eady makes up for being heavy on his first rock with his second one and picks up another 1-point steal, taking a 2-0 lead, 2 ends in to our championship match here on Sheet B of the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel.
This is your tech guru, Michael Dobbs here. I want to take a moment to thank some of the many volunteers that have helped pull off this event. I especially want to thank our ice crew, who was chief for this event by Curtis Brooks, assisted by Ken Ray, with help from Jim Donofrio, Jason Kasparek, myself, Michael Dobbs, David Bukowski, and I know that Howard Griffin also helped out. I'm sure I'm forgetting some other people. I've been told Harvey also helped out. Running this club takes a lot of help. Magic also helped out. If you'd like to get involved, we would welcome your participation, and we're happy to teach you how to make ice, how to maintain ice, and how to make it fast for a Bonspiel.
Nicely thrown center guard there by Bill Peskoff on his first rock here in this third end. David Bykowski back here with you for this championship match of the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel. It is Scott Eady with the Yellow Rocks, Chris Goldsmith from Mayfield, Ohio with the Red Rocks, trailing 2-0 here in the third end. Eady's been able to get some guards and some pretty perfect draws behind them the last couple of ends to get back-to-back steals to start this game off. Lead Jason Oblander with his first rock there, trying to draw behind the guard. He's put it a little bit to the outside there. You can see about the left half of that rock sitting there in a what appears to be from here about the back of the 4-foot circle. Enough of it that you could play the hit, but Scott is just going to call for the draw down to it for Bill Peskoff's second rock. Sweepers on this one pretty much the whole way, as I think he's going to end up catching a piece of the guard on this. Very light. If he was looking to draw down, he's just going to line up right there in front of the guard that he's just thrown. And Goldsmith calling for Jason to throw another draw sitting around the top part of the 12-foot. So Oblander's second rock coming up to the top part of the house, just sitting out there in front. Eady will look to have Bill Nickel draw around the other way and see if he can get at a piece of that shot rock sitting there, just getting a piece of the button over on the left side. Sweepers on this one right away as they look to get it down there. Might be a little bit light. The line looks pretty good from here. Needs this one to curl more. Awfully close. He's come up just short, but that's going to set things up for him to have some opportunities later in this end. So we should be seeing another draw coming for now the second, Kent Young. Well, good line. We've been seeing good line on all of these shots, but weight control has been a little tough to come by for both of these teams. We've seen several of them going through the house or settling in the back part of the house, just having a tough time trying to figure out the right weight on these shots, as this ice has been awfully fast throughout most of the weekend. So a wide open hit available here for Kent Young on this, his second rock. As Bill Nichols' draw has good weight, but doesn't come over quite enough. Still doing a good job of kind of taking control. So once again, Edie still sitting shot rock, actually. As Goldsmith sits 2 and 3, all of the action happening within the 4-foot circle, a sign that these are two very good teams. All of those rocks hanging right around that 4-foot. Danny Stesky looking to go and do pretty much the same thing, and that's just put more rocks there in the 4-foot. And set things up for Scott Edie's team to end up giving up no more than a 1 here in this end. And he's put one right there, top button, over on the right side now. Sitting 2. But the way those are lined up, that could be a double opportunity. Except you've got one yellow rock that is going to jam. So, very crowded house there developing. Paul Buzzard with his first rock coming down the sheet. Sweepers on this one. And a beautiful shot there to be able to hit that one on the outside. Take one shot rock right out the back of the house, bump the other one through the 2 red rocks sitting over there on the left. An absolutely gorgeous shot there. And now it is Mayfield sitting 2. And Scott Edie trying to figure out, what do I do now? So looking at some hit possibilities. Could be trying to settle another rock down in there. That's what can see where he's putting his broom, trying to settle a rock down there right into the shot rock after a gorgeous shot there thrown by Paul Buzzard. Stesky with his second rock, just trying to draw one down there to the shot rock sitting in just about the full 4-foot circle. Probably wouldn't mind a little bit of a bump here. This one's got to move over more than it is right now, though. And he's just going to tap back his own yellow out of play. Goldsmith still sitting 2. And he's calling for one to block the other side of the 4-foot. Right around about the top of the 12-foot circle. Maybe even a 3-guard, actually, on this one. Not calling for a whole lot of ice, though. It seems like this one could easily over-curl and end up coming fairly close to the center line the way he's got the broom position. We'll see how this works out. Sweepers on this one right away, so they may be able to pull this one out more and get a better line. Weight is down, and the sweepers are still on it as it comes right over to the center. And that is not quite what he was looking for. Not bad, but he definitely wanted that one a little bit more to the right of the center line. And again, I think that really was a factor of just the broom placement. We're seeing more curl, as much as 4 feet coming that way. Scott Eady going to try the same shot he just called for Stesky to try to come back there. I don't think he's got room to actually get right back to the shot rock. He may be able to get he might have enough room to get a little bit of a tap and roll into the center. If you can catch this one right. Sweepers on this one pretty early. Now they're coming up. Could be close. It's all going to depend on if the line works out. If you can get this rock to move over a little bit more. Now it's cutting. And he's put that one in there very nicely. The little tap and roll off of his own to sit shot rock just ahead of Goldsmith's shot rock in the 4-foot. At least we're thinking that shot right now for Eady. So Goldsmith taking a long look at this house. Kind of tough to do a whole lot with the shot rock. A lot of jam possibilities here. It seems like you've got to hit that top red rock fairly thin to be able to get that to kick at an angle. Try to drive the yellow out of there, but even so, it's awfully hard not to have the yellow shot rock jam on your red one that's sitting second shot there in the back of the 4-foot. So Goldsmith with his first rock. Sweepers with the hands up early. It's coming in, try to sweep it just a little bit. Trying to get a piece of anything, and he's caught just a tiny bit of it and has at least opened that up to get a little bit of access. Eady is still sitting shot rock, but you know that he's going to be protecting that one. That was Bill Peskov's looking back here saying, I can't believe it. Did you see that? It's still Eady sitting shot rock right now, though, very clearly. Scott Eady definitely with a good chance for the draw coming around to the button here. Scott instead just throwing very lightweight, and he has framed the shot right here for Chris Goldsmith, right through a large port. Just a control weight hit to be able to get at this one. Keep the shooter to pick up 3, Even if the shooter rolls out, you've tied this game up at 2. A great shot on his first rock there for Edey, and a very bad result there on his second one. He can't really see a whole lot of this one, maybe about a quarter of it, so it's definitely going to be a soft weight. But he wants to keep the shooter around anyways. Chris Goldsmith with the hammer here in this third end. Trailing 2-0. He wants the sweepers on it right away. They get on it. He's got this one a little bit tight. Can he get this one by the guard? It's all coming down to the guard. He's clipping the guard, and that is, back-to-back misses. And Scott Edey very, very fortunate there after his second rock to pick up another steal of 1 and extend his lead out to 3-0 over Chris Goldsmith and his Mayfield ring. And Goldsmith very frustrated with himself right now. Well, another very nice center guard there from Bill Peskoff to lead off this fourth end. 3-0 your score in favor of Scott Edey's rink over Chris Goldsmith. Seen some incredible shots there. Probably none better than just getting a little bit of the shot rock in that last end. And Jason Oblander with a very nice draw behind the center guard. Sitting right there, catching part of the top of the 4-foot circle. These front ends have been playing very well in this game. Made for some very interesting shots here in the back end. Peskoff with the second one, and it looks like he's going to be clipping the guard and opening things up a bit. After a well-placed center guard, he's split one onto the house. He's got a corner over there on the left side. Not sure that that's really a favorable result, but he has at least opened up access to the shot rock in the middle. And in all likelihood, we'll be seeing Bill Nickel trying to hit that one out with his next shot. That's a Goldsmith calling for the center guard. Choosing to eschew the corner guard over on the right side. This rock is over curling just a bit, and it needs to dig in. So he's brought it a little deep, and that definitely set up a double for Bill Nickel. Scott Eady taking a look at this one, seeing the same thing that we are here. And he's calling for the double right there on the nose. No surprise there. Sweepers on this one right away, just after it's out of Nickel's hand. He's coming back in. I think he might have been a little bit to the inside, just gets the, goes across the face and picks up just the guard up top. Is Goldsmith going to look to put it back? He can do that. Now he's going to use the corner guard, I think. Well, he keeps going back and forth. You're trailing 3-0 here in the fourth end. I think you really need to try to do all that you can to pick up 2. Best opportunity might be to go and keep protecting that shot rock, and then just leave yourself a draw for 2 with the hammer. This looks pretty heavy for a guard, though. This one looks like it's at least T weight. Well, he gets enough of a rub to make the double much, much harder than that last one was. Shot rock is actually sitting right now in the back of the house. Eady's still looking to go and get rid of both of them. Wants this one to stay off to the right side and just hang out there. Catch the angle on the right for the double. Bill Nickel, second rock, sweepers on this one. I don't think that's going to stay. Well, now they've come off of it. It's going to be close. Don't know that he's got it. Gets a piece of the one. Not quite enough weight to drive it all the way back out of the house, but that's going to do well enough, though. Because now you've got Eady sitting 3 and the shot rock sitting safely behind his corner guard over on the right side. So again, more great shots that we're seeing from the front end. Goldsmith a little nervous seeing those rocks over on the left. Going to call for the hit to get rid of at least one. Should be a fairly easy double if he's able to get to the nose on this. With good weight. Kent Young gets the one, but it hung out there too much, and so now Eady's sitting 2, 1 behind the corner guard, 1 that's sitting over, touching the 4-foot for the shot rock. And I'd kind of expect to see some sort of guard coming on this one. So looking to put this one about top of the 12-foot, half on the 12, half off. Anywhere up front, protecting that shot rock, sitting right now just behind the tee line in the back of the 4-foot. Eady up 3-0, counting 2 at the moment as we get to the Vice Rocks. Danny Stesky's first rock is away here. Sweeper's just keeping an eye on it as it looks heavy for a guard. Maybe bringing this down to about top 8, top 4-foot. And he set up a pretty easy double here for Goldsmith's Vice, Paul Buzzard. So Buzzard with his first rock away. Looking for the hit. He's going to get at least one and roll the shooter out, I believe. Oh, jams a little bit on his in the back of the house, but not a real issue. Just put that one out there just a little too far. Got the shooter sitting over on the outside 12-foot, and Edie still sitting 2 at the moment. Really, really, really wants that guard here. And again, you notice calling much tighter ice going in this direction, more of about 2 feet of curl, as opposed to he'd probably be at least halfway into the 12-foot, if not further, if he was calling for the other turn on this shot. Well, the weight is good here, but he's left this one, he's left it open as it over-curled a bit. So Buzzard with plenty of room, looking to play again a finesse weight shot and roll behind that corner guard to sit shot rock. Again, Goldsmith trailing 3-0 here in this 4th end. Really need to start getting some points on the board. They've had the hammer all throughout so far, but Scott Edie has especially been making some fantastic shots to keep his team in the lead. This one's not really moving very much. He might chip a piece of it, but the shooter's going to roll out the back. Just some misses at very bad times coming here, both at the end of the 3rd end and then now here in the 4th, a wide open hit that would seem pretty routine. So Edie will just again look to clog things up. Sitting 2, not really going to look to put a 3rd one in. He'd need to put that one in about full 12, maybe catch a piece of the 8-foot almost to be able to do that, and that might be deeper than I think he wants this rock to go. Coming up after this end is over, we'll give you an update on the scores on all of the other sheets. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th event finals action going on here today as well. Scott Edie's rock got fairly good weight, but the line not quite coming over there. So the Edie rink with good weight control now, but having a hard time with the line on these last couple of shots. As Goldsmith will head down and look to play the finesse weight hit here once again. Certainly plenty of room to get to it. He's got to be very careful not to throw too much weight on this one. It's giving him quite a bit of ice for the hit. I could see maybe a hack weight working out here, but if he's really trying to roll behind that corner guard like he was looking at earlier, I don't know. I think I might want even just a little less ice than that. Shots away, not quite sure about the line. It looked like that rock wobbled a bit, and I think this one's going to start. He may have started moving this one. He's going to crash, I think, on the high guard over on the left. No, he's getting around it. Sweeper's really held that one nicely. Getting a roll. Can he get that one behind the center guard? Not quite. And it's going to roll to the back 12. So Edie's still sitting 1. I think the way that rock was moving, that was a very difficult shot for him to try to stick around and be able to keep that behind the corner guard. He just barely got around the guard just a little bit there. But that one was really not moving at that point. That was going pretty straight, and he was destined to end up rolling back towards the center of the house. Scott Eady with his second rock here. I think the tap back is a good idea here. He just needs some more weight on this. And I think he has enough to be sitting 2. And those 2 are definitely undoubleable. So at this point, Goldsmith just left with the draw for 1. So all that Chris Goldsmith needs to do here is just draw to the 4-foot. The classic skip shot, the one he needs to have in his pocket. Hammer is away. And this one is all, I believe this is all on the sweepers. Don't think he needs to worry about the line. It's cutting a bit here. They need to sweep this one for the line. He may be rubbing on the center guard. Is he going to get that by? He's going to get just a little bit of a rub. And that is 2 for Scott Eady. And a 5-0 lead at the halfway point of our championship match here on Sheet B. Just some mistakes at very inopportune times that we've seen these last couple of ends. Quick look here at the halfway point at the action going on some of the other sheets over on Sheet C, the second event final, featuring the Murray-Jackson rink from Triangle, taking on Dubberstein's Philadelphia rink. It is Murray-Jackson with the Red Rocks and a 3-1 lead at the moment, as he throws his last rock, coming down at a wide, throwing a hit at a wide open Yellowstone right there at the top of the 8-foot. No problem making that hit. Shooter going to stick around in the house, and Dubberstein is going to be looking to draw against 4 there over on Sheet C. Looking back over on Sheet A, they're coming down towards the end of the 4th end, all tied at 2 apiece, between the Potomac team being skipped by, trying to see, missing a few people here. You can see there's Jennifer and Jay Atkinson over there in the house. Jay Atkinson is skipping, taking on Derek Tomlinson, who we saw also was in the, I believe was in the first event semifinals last night, losing a close one to this Goldsmith rink that we've got here in the championship match. That, again, that game all tied up at 2 apiece. Over on Sheet D, the 4th event final going on right now. Tanya Mulvey just throwing the hammer right now, trailing 4-1 to the Anderson rink. And a very nicely made shot, and suddenly that is 4 for Tanya Mulvey, and all of a sudden it is now a 5-4 lead for Mulvey over Anderson at the half in the 4th event final. Back here over on Sheet B, coming down in our 5th end of action in this championship match, Eady with a 5-0 lead. Couple of rocks in the house at this point. as Bill Peskoff will take out the red rock sitting at the top of the 12-foot, leaving 2 yellow rocks, one right on the right on the tee line in the 4-foot, and another one that's sitting just in front of the tee, half on the 8, half on the 12-foot, very nicely spaced out. Really just trying to play a very open game, it appears right now. A scintillating display of takeouts, as my friend Jeremy Singer has just said. Certainly all the momentum going in Edie's direction right now. And so draw to the back of the 8-foot. And Scott Edie will, of course, take that one out. Looking for about bumper weight is the signal there. Bill Nickel confirming it in the hack with his first rock of this 5th end. Really has not been as dominant of a match as the scoreboard would indicate. Just some very good shots and a couple of unfortunate misses at the skip position in this game. Well, no problem with the hit there. Leaving 3 yellow rocks in the house. One of them sitting behind the tee line, one in front, and one right smack on it. So Kent Young looking to just draw down to those 2 shot rocks right by the 4-foot with his first one here. If he plays right to the shot rock, he can probably afford just a little bit of a tap, not much. This one is cutting a lot. I almost wonder if that picked up something. And now on top of the misses earlier, now you're seeing bad luck coming into play. Edie going to take this one out as well. Michael, you may want to go and say that into the microphone here.
I was saying this is how 8-enders develop.
There will not be an 8-ender now because the word 8-ender has been used. So it's kind of like a no-hitter in baseball. You don't talk about the no-hitter when it's happening. Bill Nickel with his second rock. Sweepers on this one most of the way down. This one will stick around without a problem, sitting right there in front of the button. Some of the folks watching here noting that the triple is there. Pointless, but there. Second shot from Kent Young here. Hanging around outside. But that's going to come down to something and probably going to freeze onto something here. Not really going to be able to take this one out unless he might have a little more weight. And, well, it's going to be hard to get rid of that one. So Scott Edie looking to do something with that on that inside towards the middle to drive it out. Yep, he's calling for a pretty firm weight on this one. And I'm sorry, Michael Dobbs, but it looks like he doesn't care if he loses one of the rocks in the house or the shooter.
I know, my own fault. I cursed it.
It was fun while it lasted, though. Danny Stesky with his first rock, and he manages to punch that one out there, getting a little bit of a favorable kick off his own stone. Sit 4 there in the house. A little bit of good fortune there for the nerd at third. Yes, Bennett Tucker, that one was just for your benefit. Good to have you with us. David Bykowski here from the Potomac Curling Club, alongside technical director Michael Dobbs, and a cast of many dozens of people here watching these championship finals here at the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel. That's a beautiful draw right down there on top of the shot rock. Got a little bit of space there. And again, Edie may be plenty content to just knock that one out, lose the shooter, lose another one of his rocks back there. He's got a 5-0 lead at this point. And he's actually calling for the guard here. Edie is still sitting shot rock at this point. I suppose at this point the big thing with him being up 5-0 is just to not give up a big end, not really make a big mistake, and again, force Goldsmith to be able to do something to get 1, even 2 on the board is perfectly fine. Edie has not had the hammer yet in this game, so we don't know how dangerous he can be with the hammer. Well, he's got this one a bit heavy here from Stesky. It might actually, well, it's curling a bit. I think this one's going to sit right there on top, and in fact, he's actually promoted him up so that Goldsmith is now sitting 1 pretty securely in there. Give you a quick look here from our red, hot, and blue overhead cam. You can see the shot rock sitting right there for red, right on the button. And that second shot right behind there. Needs some pretty good force to be able to kick this one out. Paul Buzzard with his second rock here away in this 5th end. Sweepers on this one right away. It's very light. And hoping to get this one just across the hog line. They do. That's actually going to be about a 2 guard, I think. The power of good sweepers. But I'm not sure how much use he is really going to be able to get out of that one. So Scott Edie trying to find a way with his 2 shots to be able to get rid of that red rock. He's given a little bit of a look at the in-off here, and well, heck, it's the championship game. Might as well go big. Not much to lose when you're up 5-0 here. And I will say that in-off is actually angled pretty nicely there for him. So he's definitely looking to, I think he's trying the in-off with the side benefit here of, even if he doesn't make it, managing to take away a hit and roll in opportunity for Goldsmith to pick up 2 here in this end. I don't know where Chris Goldsmith would be able to put a second rock in there to count this end. Right now, the shot rock is pretty well protected in the front and behind. Well, he's throwing the intern at this one. And that is not definitely not going for the in-off here. It's just looking to be able to put this one down in there and probably, again, just provide some more congestion and really hold Goldsmith to one. Might be able to set something up on his last rock. So he's coming down, and that's a beautiful placement there. Once again, Scott Eady is a machine indeed. So the angle is set up nicely to be able to drive that one out. And Goldsmith, well, at this point, what do you do? No, really, folks, what do you do? I'm happy to go and hear your suggestions over on our live chat. So Goldsmith coming down here to the hack. He's got 2 rocks to work with at least. Ben Tucker likes the in-off that Eady didn't go for there. Got another suggestion for peel weight between the top 2 yellow rocks. The trick here is going to be trying to find any way to be able to take away or at least make that angle hit a lot more difficult. If Scott Eady makes that shot, it could be game over. He's thrown a little bit of weight at this. And, well, he's still sitting shot rock. And I think he may have actually taken the angle away a bit more here. So, as you can see on our red, hot, and blue overhead cam, both Scott Eady and actually now 3/4 of the team down there. Bill Nichols decided to join the fun. Bill Peskoff just hanging out here over on the warm room side of the ice. At some point, he may get tired of the conversation and start walking out there like the umpire does when the pitcher conference is taking too long. An amazing looking house that we're all seeing here in this 5th end championship game. 5-0 your score. Eady on top. He's managed a steal of 1, a steal of 1, a steal of 1, and then to spice things up, last end a steal of 2. So the conversation seems to be kind of breaking up a little bit. Bill's come down to start cleaning out in front of the rock. He's looking at maybe the in-off possibility here again. Well, this one is definitely thinner than before. I think that this is now this one I think is much tougher, especially with that red rock that's sitting there up in front of the top 4 foot. The worst that he can probably do on this with a miss is to open things enough such that Goldsmith maybe has an opportunity to make some sort of draw or tap or some sort of shot for 2. Again, when you're up 5-0, that's still not too bad. So here's Scott Eady, the machine, with his last rock of the 5th end. He's got plenty of weight on this one. Good firm weight on it. Sweeper staying off of it. It's hanging outside all the way, and well, he made it a little interesting. But right now I don't see any way that, well, there is a way maybe for Goldsmith to be able to get a second one in there. He's going to have to draw coming around the right side. It's going to have to be absolutely dead perfect. But he doesn't need a piece of the button to be able to sit second shot. You can see that little bit of red between that yellow second shot rock and there. And he's just gonna throw his rock away. He's not even going to try and just take his one. I don't know. I think he was going to have a hard time hurting himself there, but Goldsmith just wants to get on the board, close the game to 5-1 through 5 ends here in this championship match. Five to 1 your score here as we start the 6th end of play. Folks here on your comments, I would have to agree with you. I kind of questioned the throw through as well. Really probably can't hurt yourself trying to draw there on that last shot, but sure enough, you can just simply throw the hammer away, and that's exactly what Chris Goldsmith decided to do, take his 1 point, and he's going to need a steal of 2 somewhere along the line if he's going to be able to get this one at least to a tie game. He's got a high center guard here just to the right of the center line. Jason Oblander with his second rock for the Mayfield rink. Bringing the draw, trying to go and just leave that as a nice center guard. That's exactly what you're looking for on that one. Scott Eady just happy to throw a rock out to the wings. He's already got one that's sitting guarding the outside 14-foot here. I don't think that one's going to be coming into play really at all. In fact, at least from my view here, it looks like it's hanging over the sideline, but they've ruled that that's still in play, so they've got a better look at it from above than we do. Bill Peskoff's second rock here. Has he come up heavy? No, it looks like no. Fresh ice over here as this one is starting to dig in and is going to settle just maybe a hair behind the tee line. So a nice result there for him. Just wants to pretty much do anything to put 2 points on the board here. And 7-1, that might close this game out, I think. Certainly the way that Eady's playing, that's for sure. So Kent Young with his first rock here in the 6th end. This one is cutting over quite a bit from left to right. And I don't know, he may get a little bit of an angled tap, but that's really just going to spread things out there up front. He's maybe got a biter up there on the top of the 12-foot circle. I like the tap back as the idea there. Then again, I just like to play the tap back in general. And Scott Eady going to get right to clearing out those guards. So just the straight hit right there, leaving a yellow guard in place of the red. A little bit of a color swap there. Kent Young's second rock sweeper's on this one pretty much the whole way down as it's coming up way light and really maybe going to be about a 2-3 guard. Just a little bit of a rub off of his high guard there. He's got another tap opportunity over on the right side, but Eady's still sitting one, and we'll see if he's going to just get rid of that one. He might be able to get rid of both of those guards, actually, with a pretty firm weight hit here. Eady looking to get rid of that rock that Kent Young has just thrown. As Bill Nickel gets set to throw his second rock of this end. And sweepers get on it now about halfway down the sheet. He's going to clear something out of here, that's for sure. He's got the nice inside roll on the one, and he's going to just tap the other one up, just sitting on the top of the 12-foot. That's actually a pretty good result, I think. Port is right there. That said, Goldsmith does have the opportunity. He could tap it back if he wants. Instead, he really would rather just go for the hit on the open rock sitting out just outside of the 8-foot. Over on the left side, as you see it at home. So Paul Buzzard with his first rock here for Goldsmith's Mayfield ring. He's pinched this one a little bit, maybe. Ohio. And instead, and actually, no, not playing the hit. He's trying to play the draw behind with that handle and ends up guarding up the shot rock as he wrecks on the guard there. So Eady feeling pretty confident here. Looks like he's going to just get rid of that one and roll behind the guards that are sitting all around the center line. Just doing everything that he's calling for a draw, actually. I've been corrected. So Stesky's rock is away. Line looking pretty good for the draw. It's got to move over just a little bit more as it comes deep into the house. Now it's really starting to cut in there. Come into the 4-foot. And that's pretty nice. Buzzard may be able to see just a little bit of that one, and he can get to that with about a good hack weight. He's Goldsmith looking actually just about back house, back line weight here. And he's pinched this one a bit narrow. Sweeper's on this one all the way, but this looks destined to wreck on the guard. And now they've come off of it, trying to see what they might be able to salvage here. If they can get maybe a tap, and it's come all the way across the face. Ooh, that's a very bad result there. So he's raised Edie up to sitting 3 now. And I think that he's got to be putting something. He's calling for one right around the top of the 8-foot. You can probably probably be perfectly fine with top 12 even. Could be sitting 4 and make it a little tougher for there to be a double. Then again, with those 2 yellows over on the left side of the house, all he really needs is just a deuce in this end, though. Sweeper staying off of this one. It looks a bit heavy. Hoping that this one can die around the top 12, maybe the top 8-foot. I think it's going to go a little deeper than that, though. It's going to come all the way to the shot rock back there. And now he's, well, on the one hand, you'd say it looks like an easy double. On the other hand, it's just going to drive into the rocks that are sitting over on the left side. However, he's got an opportunity to, he can freeze down there. He can just get a little bit of a tap and roll over to the button there as well. I say I really like just tapping and rolling over to the button. He's calling for big weight on this one. This one, if he hits this one too thin, he's going to lose the shooter. He cannot afford to lose the shooter at this point. So Chris Goldsmith with his first rock here in the 6th end, trailing 5-1 and missing the hammer right now. He's put this one to the outside. And, well, now it's coming back. He's going to at least get a little bit of something, but the shooter's going to roll over and freeze onto, ooh, it gets a little bit of a rub the other way. So he's cut Edie down to 2 for the moment, but Edie's still with the hammer and a 5-1 lead. And Scott's going to go and make the exact same call, just to sit one right there at the top of the 8-foot. Now, all this being said, if he's looking to draw top 8 and kind of protect things, I'm thinking he might need just a little bit more ice than he's called for here. Rocks away. He's released it just a little bit to the outside. Not too much, though. Going to be the better miss. Sweepers are on this one right away, as this is going to curl quite a bit coming in towards the center line. Now they've come off of it some. Line is shaping up okay here. If he can get a little bit of a wick off the guards, he's got the shot rock protected nicely and still sitting 2. Goldsmith has got to put himself in position to have a chance to steal 1 here. couple updates on some of the other games. They are in the second event final over on Sheet C. They are playing the sixth end right now on Vice Rocks. All square at 3 apiece between Murray Jackson's Triangle Rink and Uberstein's Philadelphia Rink. They're all tied up over on Sheet D as well. 5-5 between Anderson and Mulvey in the fourth event final. And it's right now a 4-2 lead over on Sheet A in the third event final, with the Atkinson Rink holding the lead over Tomlinson. 4-2 as they are playing the sixth end on all of those games as well. So Goldsmith and Buzzard talking about this one for a long time. So he's looking for, says he, it looks like he is, I can't tell, he may be looking to go and play some sort of in-off, which I mean, he's got to be putting one that's going to be sitting shot rock at this point. And I don't think he can't get to the shot rock directly. Even with the way that things are cutting, I don't think he can move that out far enough. So a lot of weight here from Goldsmith on his final rock of this end. No, not as much as we thought. And he's just going to wreck on the guard up high. Edie counting 2 right now. Edie could just simply draw in here for 3, and that would be it. I think he can miss this shot, and that's going to be the end of this one as well. He's just going to draw this one over to the open side and play it safe, it looks like. Good call there. So Edie with the hammer here. Just needs to go and put this one anywhere in the 8-foot. It doesn't really matter. Buzzard has already called this one over. This one's hanging way to the outside. It's a score of 2, but I think the handshakes are about to be coming out right here. Paul Buzzard, as Vice, is saying, no, seriously, Chris, we're done. And congratulations to Scott Edie, a dominant win here, 7-1 in this championship match of the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel in 6 ends. Take a moment, we'll see if we can maybe give you some bonus coverage of some of the other event finals that are going on here today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We will keep you tuned in to Sheet C, which is Triangle versus Philadelphia. But we wanted to take a chance to thank some of the many volunteers. We've already thanked our ice crew, headed by Curtis Brooks and Ken Ray. They did a fantastic job in this Bonspiel, assisted by many different people. This time, we're going to thank the kitchen staff. They did just another fantastic job, making wonderful goodies, keeping us all well fed. And they were headed by Lisa Andrew, who, I mean, she puts so many hours in and coordinates all the other volunteers. She does a fantastic job. Some of the people who helped her out this year, and it's a long list, were Dominique Banville, Mike Chirillo, Virginia Chalmers, Kevin Kidder, Carol Voss, Rachel Sethi, Barb Shirks, Susan Armiger, Susan Armiger, Ann Kennedy, Brandon Corrali, Ann Dougherty, Lisa Bidet, Sarah Jo P., Jennifer Atkinson, who I think is playing right now, Carol Voss, and we had many spouses also help. Sarah Jo Pelletier, Jerry Nash, Kristen Rockenbach. We had some members who are on maternity leave and still came in to help out. Hadassah Freed and Rachel Gregory. We also had some more members, George Shirk, Linda Murphy, Ann Hewitt, and of course, Lisa Andrew. In addition, Rachel Gregory, Liz Brown, Jane Filkins, and that's all the names I have written down. I'm sure we've missed somebody. Thank you, everybody who helped out in the kitchen. In addition to the kitchen, we have those people who ran one of the most important items in a Bonspiel, the bar. The bar was coordinated by Chad this time, and I don't have a list of all the volunteers in front of me. I know that Charlie Jenkins helped out. I know that Mr. Mike Sell helped out, and Mitch Potter. And I know I'm missing a lot of names, and we can't thank you enough for keeping us well liquidated during our event. In addition, I'm sure there's people I've forgotten. Ann Hewitt was our director for this event. She kept track of everything and started us out by organizing. Once again, this is the Potomac Curling Club, an entirely volunteer-run organization, as you might imagine, from the massive list of names I've read. We're always looking for new members and new volunteers. Be sure to sign up on the website. And a special thank you to new member Aaron, who made a last-minute store run to save Lisa's sanity. And now back to the action with your host, Dave Bukowski.
Thanks, Michael. Taking a look over at Sheet C and D over there on the right side of your screen, you see Sheet C. Again, that is the, with the red rocks, and for at least half of them, for 3/4 of them, the red coats. Murray Jackson's Triangle Rink. They are starting the 7th end. Haven't seen a score posted there for end number 6. All tied up at 3 apiece.
I just took off from the website who that was. Bar, we can take it off the website.
We know that that was, we're seeing the first, believe that actually, just kind of doing a quick rock count here, and we're seeing that Triangle still with the hammer, so should be a small lead right now for Duberstein from Philadelphia as Anthony Slatta gets set to throw his second rock from the lead position here in this 7th end. Again, we've swung the cameras over to give you a look at Sheet C and D. Most of what we'll be talking about is going to be focusing on Sheet C, though we can always jump in over there on D should things get particularly interesting. That is our 4th event final match. Score right now 6-5. Anderson having just stolen one to take the lead back away from Mulvey. As Lee Franklin back over on Sheet C, throwing her second lead rock of this game. Again, we'll give you a score update on this one as soon as the 6th end is posted. It was tied 3-3 in the 5th end, and right now Red Rocks Triangle with the hammer here in the 7th. So Philadelphia just playing the hit there on the outside rock, no problem on that one. As Triangle will look to Murray, giving that one a look. And it's going to go and throw the draw, coming around behind that corner guard over on the left side of the forefoot. Sweeper staying off of this one most of the way down the sheet here. Usually the sign that it's a bit heavy. Don't think that this one is curling quite as much either. And it's just left the shot rock there wide open for Philadelphia to be able to take out. Given about just a normal weight hit here is the call. And just catching a piece of that one, losing the shooter, getting the shot rock out just barely. So just a little bit of a biter sitting over there on the right side for yellow, that being Philadelphia. And we'll see Clifford Gray try again with the draw behind that red guard over on the left side. So still some weight control issues here on sheet C. As that one goes through the house. And Courtney Slatta up to throw her first vice rock in this seventh end. Just looking to try to pick off the guard there, and just comes up a little bit to the outside. So Kathy Jackson setting up for her first vice rock. Again, still trying to go and play that draw behind that corner guard. They've been trying this one a few times and haven't been successful yet. Kathy's rock coming up light here, it appears. She may be, looks like she's going to be coming right down to the guard, not definitely not going to be coming down behind it, and just sitting right there on top. Just a light tap, if anything. So Courtney Slatta with her second rock here, just trying to get rid of the guards again. This time much better line. Gets rid of one and watches the second one goes right out the back of the house. A nice shot by her to clear things out. And Triangle probably is going to be best served to just try to clear things out and maybe blank this end. Just the one yellow rock that's sitting as a biter over on the right side in front of the house. Right at the top of the house, rather. Murray calling for the draw behind as Duberstein with a 5-3 lead. That was a steal of 2 there in the 6th end. Kathy's second rock again. A little close on the sweeping. Got 3 sweepers on this one. I think she may not get behind it. And now it's actually come back in toward the center again. It's like that one lost in reversed handle, I think, coming out there. So Triangle sitting 1 for the moment, but a wide open hit here for Duberstein to be able to We'll see if we can catch Scott Eady in a little bit later, give him a little bit of cooling off period after that win. Right now, Duberstein with his first rock here on the wide open hit on the red triangle rock. I think he's put this one outside. Sweeper's being called off the entire time. He's got enough of it to be able to drive that out. Kathy Jackson standing there really wanting to go and be able to sweep it, and instead that is a great result, having those 2 rocks splitting the house and really looking to force Triangle to end up drawing for 1 here in the 7th. Would put them in a position to be down 1 without the hammer going into the final end. Murray Jackson with his first skips rock here in the 7th end. Trying to draw this one over towards the left side. Really being able to come down to that yellow rock that's sitting over there on the left would be ideal, but that's not going to move over enough. It's come a little bit heavy. Still going to be counting as shot rock, so he's going to be hoping for a miss from Duberstein here to have a chance to pick up 2. Otherwise, it'll be just a draw for 1. And then hope to play for a steal in the 8th end. Sweepers on this one fairly early here for the last rock from Duberstein. Just trying to get the hit on the red rock. They're giving it all that they've got to try to get a piece of it. It's moving away, and he's just got enough of it to be able to drive it out of there and force Murray Jackson to draw for one here. Not pretty, but it did the job, though. So Murray just needs really any piece of the 8-foot will be fine for this shot. Pick up the 1, and then load up the front with guards and play for the steal in the 8th. And the hammer's away here on Sheet C, second event final at the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel. Philadelphia leading Triangle 5-3 in this one. This one's all in the sweeper's hands. They were on this one for a while. Might have overswept it a bit, bringing that one back into the 12-foot. I think they might have managed to just hang on, though. So it is indeed 1 for Triangle there to close the gap to 5-4 as we come back down here towards the near house for the 8th end. All right, Ben Tucker, this one's especially for you. Joining me right here is Scott Eady, the winning skip of the championship game. Scott, congratulations. Guys looked awfully good out there.
Yeah, good day today. Not quite as sharp as the rest of the day, but it was playing a good team this game. And ice was a little tricky, so it was tough making some of the shots. But
your front end really seemed to be playing really strong for you throughout this one, especially.
Yeah, well, this whole weekend, it was pretty easy for me. I never really was facing many opposition rocks and playing a lot of guards and a lot of open draws.
Third end coming down that way. Had a bunch of junk there in the house, and you had a pretty incredible shot coming down there.
A little flop in. Yeah, I think those are easier than they look, actually. As long as you get to the inside of the rock, it just goes in there, you know, back and either way, you know. I left him the corner, which he made a really great shot on the next one to pick that over out of that, so didn't make it good enough.
Well, you certainly made pretty quick work of that game, 7-1. Just you know, where are you going to be off to next?
My next thing is I won't be curling until January at the MCA Bonspiel in Winnipeg. I'm kind of taking this year off, so.
Really?
I only have 2 events planned this year, so that'll be a surprise for some people.
Yeah, it's certainly a surprise, I think. And I know we've not seen you as much as we'd like here around the club lately, but.
Well, last year I was here a lot, but I was always here alone practicing, so I hadn't been playing in league. So just take a year off and then see how things go. So.
Anything else with this team later on? I mean, you got the MCA and then
Well, I'll be going to the MCA with Danny Stesky, and we're still looking for a couple guys. And, you know, maybe a guy like get a North Dakota farmer come up and play some of the games. Actually would be kind of cool. I don't think he's curled in that Bonspiel. It's a real great one. Biggest Bonspiel in the world in Winnipeg, and it's 125th. So we'll see. But Danny for sure.
Yeah. Well, again, congratulations. I know you've been coming to this Spiel for quite a long time now. It's 10 years now?
10 years, yeah, 10 years. All right,
So.
well, thanks a lot, David.
All right, well, thanks, Scott. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, there you are, Scott Eady, the winning skip. Ben says he's there. He says, I'm there. All right, so let's get a look back here on sheet C. Pretty open, just with the one red guard sitting up there for triangle, just to the left side of the center line, and got the hit and a pretty good roll. Hard to tell from this angle how far behind that guard it actually is. So can't really see the guard in our overhead camera view here. You just see that one red rock sitting there at the top of the 8-foot. Philadelphia will be looking to take this one out, or at the very least take out the guard. You definitely don't want to flash and miss this one on the outside, and that may be what's just happened. Sweepers are being called off all the way. Got a piece of the guard. Well, it opens it up, but not really a result there. You want to get that guard out of the way completely. And Murray Jackson calling to put that guard right back in place. Clifford Gray with his second shot here in this 8th end. So another guard up there, and we'll see what's going to happen. Especially when you're trying to go and steal here, steal one in the 8th end, you would think that you want to go and put up a bunch of guards to go and start out and try to be drawn behind there. Or if the ice is running really straight, you may want to go and tap them back. So the two guards up there making perfect sense, I think. Sweepers on this one pretty much the whole way. Not quite getting the double out of that one. A good effort. And Murray just going to keep blocking things up, I have a feeling, the way that he's looking at this one. Could put that center guard right back there. Well, maybe he's right there on the center line, about midway between the hog line and the top of the house. One thing you really want to be careful of is not to set those guards up too close to each other in terms of depth and really making things that could be doubled out. So you'd like this one maybe just a little bit higher up. Well, this one seems to be over curling coming across the center line, a little bit off to the left, and definitely left the double right there to clear out both of the guards. So a little deep and definitely too far over to the left. And it'll be up to Courtney here to clear these guards out. Sweeper's being called off of this one. He's got just the one up there in the top, and it's going to jam on their own guard and come right back in, and very bad luck there, the way that that one hit. Especially crashing on the guard and then coming back across the center line to leave that one shot, or red shot rock protected. Quick look over there on sheet D. They're also playing the 8th end. Got one rock for each team. Again, Tanya Mulvey and her team trailing 6-5 after the 7th end was blanked. Tanya with the hammer. And as you look over there, there is one yellow rock sitting there in the house. Tanya with the yellow rocks and plenty of room to be able to draw. Sarah Anderson taking a look around to see what the best option is going to be to try to drive that out. Looks like there may be either a very long run back opportunity or an angle tap run back coming just off the center. So Kathy Jackson back over here on sheet C with her second shot. Or second rock, rather, here in this 8th end. Down by one, but with one sitting right there in the top of the 8-foot. Could be a very good tap back opportunity to put two in the house with two guards out in front of them. Sweepers on this one pretty early on. As this one comes back in towards the center line. Not coming over enough. The weight is definitely well down. And this is going to end up being just another guard. Not too bad in the end. So over there on D, last red rock sitting there, and Tanya still has one yellow rock sitting there in the middle of the 4-foot and an opportunity to draw for the win. Actually, they may have it already. Got a yellow sitting there in the back of the 12 that may already be out counting. It would not be a difficult draw, just needs to go and catch certainly a piece of the 8-foot would do it over there. Back over here on C, Courtney's second rock, just trying to clear at least one guard out of the way, getting rid of the high one, leaving one that's on the center, one especially guarding the shot rock to the left of center. So, Murray Jackson getting set to throw his first skip rock over on D. Tanya Mulvey with the hammer. Just needs a draw to the 8-foot for the win here in the 4th event final. Sweepers on this one. It's all about the weight now. Need to get it there. Connor coming very hard just to get a little piece of the 8-foot, and he's got it all the way to the full 8, and that is a win for Tanya Mulvey on the skips draw to take the 4th event final over on sheet D. Back to the action over here on C. a little bit of a split, moving the guard off the center line to really protect that shot rock a little bit more. And second shot sitting there in the top of the 12-foot there for Murray Jackson. Triangle sitting 2 right now. But keep in mind they do not have the hammer in this 8th end. Down 1 without. 2 rocks to go for Duberstein as he heads down the sheet to throw his first one. Again, just wants to clear things out of the middle to leave himself an opportunity to draw for the win with the hammer. Duberstein's first rock is away on sheet C. Not really moving much off of that center line and puts it right in between. A very disastrous miss there for Duberstein. And a great opportunity for Murray Jackson to be able to just block that up. Right there on the center. Get a piece of the top of the 12-foot even. So the big key right now is definitely to make sure not to go too deep on this one. So there you see the house over there on sheet C. 3 red rocks sitting there up in the top. I don't know. I think Murray may have come in a little deeper on that last one than he wanted to. So Duberstein could just play down to it, cut down to 1 to go to an extra end. The hit is probably there. you're asking about coming. Why did he come in instead of placing the guard? I think the intent actually was the guard on that shot, and I really was saying you don't want to go too deep on this one and leave a hit opportunity that he can make just for the one. Sweeper's on this one right away as the hammer comes down. It's pretty close. Trying to keep this one off the guard. He's going to get the hit and rolls over, sticking around for the one, and a great shot there by Duberstein to pull off the win in the second event final. I don't want to go to say too much, but that's why you don't want to come too deep there on that last shot. So I think that is going to wrap things up here from the Potomac Curling Club. We've enjoyed bringing the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel to you here online. Again, you can always catch these webcasts anytime. Just go through our website, curldc.org. The link should be here for a good long time, basically in perpetuity, to be able to view these games again and again. And not sure entirely when our next broadcast will be. I think we're going to try to bring you some of the action from the GNCC Junior Playdowns coming up December 26th through the 31st here, as well as in late February, the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel for 5-year and under men. A lot of action that we'll be seeing for that one, so a lot more broadcasts that we'll be bringing to you. So until the next time, for Michael Dobbs, our technical director, I'm David Bykowski saying so long from Laurel, Maryland.